Instructions. I'm Bob.
And I'm Josh.
And we're back.
Hey there.
So it's funny, we recorded a new show yesterday, and we threw it away.
Yeah, it was not great.
Yeah.
My hair's not great.
We should throw that away too.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, so we're going to try it again, because we just weren't happy with yesterday's show. And if you're watching, you may notice we are in a different location. We are moving the studio.
Dun, dun, dun.
Moving some stuff around, and we will give you an update on that in the very near future. But if you're watching, looks different. It's a temporary look, but you know, we'll get it finalized at some point.
And if you're listening, hopefully you won't hear an echo, because in the temporariness of this room, the temporarity, we've been trying to help the acoustics in this room. So this is not its final setup. This was an initial run. So we'll see where it ends up.
Yeah, hopefully it sounds all right.
And if not, then you can ask for your money back.
Just realized there's boxes of acoustic panels outside now.
That's true. We do have stuff to make it better. We just haven't made it better yet, but we'll get there. So anyway, how's it going since yesterday when we had the same conversation?
It's going good. How are you?
Yeah, it's going all right. Except for my laptop.
It's now convex.
Yeah, it's got a bubble on the bottom of it. My battery decided to... I think it's been expanding over time. I don't think it's actually anything new, but it turned itself off at 26% battery, which doesn't seem correct. And so I picked it up, tried to charge it with this janky charger we have, which apparently is a fire hazard. So we're getting rid of that. But then I put it back on the desk, and it like wobbled a significant amount. So I'm
It was a new desk, so we need to make sure that the desk is okay.
That's true. I think it's all right. But now I have to head up to the Apple Store this evening, as soon as we get done recording this, to see if they can replace the battery before I explode us all, because that would be bad.
We didn't get any fire sensors and all that Simply Safe stuff that we just put up.
There's smoke detectors and everything.
Yeah, that was just going to scream into the ether when no one's here. It's not going to alert the authorities.
Oh, that's true.
Wah, wah.
Well, I guess we can...
Minor oversight. That'd be fine. It's not like we have stuff here that could cause fire.
That's right. So anyway,
Except all of it.
we talked about some stuff yesterday. We'll maybe go through some of it. We're not going to go through all of it because a lot of it didn't work. But we're going to go through some of it. What's new with you?
What is new? My daughter had a birthday.
Yep.
And it's way different being a girl dad, as I'm sure that you know.
Yep.
But my daughter is my last kid. So I haven't had to like...
You never know. Just kidding.
No, I know. There's a pole outside my house that I run into every week just to make sure that the plumbing is wrecked.
Okay.
But
Cool.
having had like 2 boys and then just having to be like boy dad, and it's just kind of fun because they're boys and you rough around with them. And then being a girl dad and having... watching her react to things differently and interact with people differently and having like a group of friends and like everybody she meets is her new best friend. But like, it was awesome. She's 6, so she's still really small, but like she's 6, like going on 22. But asked her who she wanted for her birthday and she listed off everybody. And it's just, my boys are not really great at getting excited about stuff. And so watching her just like light up when she's happy is just awesome. And that's probably not because she's a girl, it's just her personality. But
Yeah.
watching her just play, and we went to the jump park, and then we had a little thing at our house, and it was super cool. Like, I really dig being a girl dad. And so if you're out there, and you're like me and like a lot of people in the world that's like, oh, it should be a boy. Like, yeah, sure. But being a girl dad is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter has an entirely different set of things that she does to me emotionally than the boys. I love the boys. But man, my daughter, she asks for something, I have a really hard time saying no. I mean, you know, not like something bad, but if she just wants something, like the boys, when it comes to toys and stuff, they just want, and I remember being this kid when I was young, but they just want, I see that thing, I want it. Can I have that? Can I have that? Can I have that? She doesn't do that. So then when when I know that she actually wants something, or I see something that I think she would enjoy, I just want to buy it for her. I just want to give it to her. Like I have ordered things and like, well, I guess I should probably hold on to this for Christmas or birthday. And then I'll kind of sneak into her room when nobody else is around. I'm like, hey, don't tell the boys. toys, but I got you this thing because I thought you'd like it. Yeah. It was just, we have a different connection than me and the boys have. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's cool. It was a good party. I was there.
The jump park was pretty awesome.
Excellent pizza.
Yeah. Regular pizza.
Yeah,
And she's really into baking and cooking. So I got her some cookbooks, and which she is super excited about. And we talked about a cake. I'm like, cool, are we going to make your birthday cake? She's like, no, I want an Ariel cake. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're a little girl. Okay, we'll get an Ariel cake. We could make like a 3-tiered cool thing. No, I just want an Ariel cake. Okay, baby, whatever you want.
She'll have other birthdays.
Yeah, exactly. No, cool. It was really good. It was fun.
Cool.
How's soccer going?
Soccer's going. We're on fall break right now. Fall break, for anybody that doesn't know, is like the school systems in this area do, and I think it's in a lot of Kentucky, not just like our county or anything. They have a fall break just like they have a spring break. So it's a week off at the beginning of October, and it's a holdover from, they tried year-round school for a couple of years. That really didn't work out, but they kept the fall break thing. So anyway, we're on that now, and so the kids are just out of school for a week. And that also means that soccer games and practices are not completely gone, but much diminished. So this is an easier week for us. And it's kind of cool for me, too, because normally I get up, before they leave for school, but they get up before I do. I get up to see them off and say bye and stuff. And this week, I'm able to sleep a little bit later, but I still get up before everybody else. So I still get some quiet. It's kind of nice. But
oh, yeah, I get up. Now that my wife isn't really teaching classes in the morning to the Chinese students because of China, I'm usually the one that's up first. And I go take the dog for a walk. It's just super nice and quiet. But
yeah.
When my wife was teaching class in the morning, my daughter, when she was usually the first of the kids to wake up, she would come in my room. She's like, let's watch a cooking show. We'd turn on YouTube and watch Josh Weissman or Binging with Babish or a bunch of other stuff. And so that was my fun connection with her. But yeah, it's kind of nice getting up not like early like I used to.
Yeah.
Because the sun is rising. But just having that time to yourself in the morning is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it really is. Although I really do like sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
I will say that. But soccer's been good. Soccer, it's fun watching the kids like get better. They're beginning to, obviously physically they're older, they're faster, they have a little more control over themselves, but also they're understanding the game more. Everybody leveled up in their kind of not just chasing the ball thing. Yeah. They're all getting positions a little more regularly and understanding that they have to stay within certain bounds to accomplish certain things. And that's fun to see. Jenny's coaching several teams, and so she's having to learn. She played soccer in high school, but she's having to learn more about how to coach to get through to these different age kids, and so that's carrying over into her own kids, and so it's cool. It's been good. And it's beginning to finally cool off a little bit. So sitting out at a soccer game in the evening is not miserable. It's like kind of nice. It starts to cool off throughout the game. And
yeah, like you and I went for a walk the other day to go get lunch.
Yeah.
And like a longer distance than we would normally be able to go because of this undisclosed location. I was like, oh, this is nice. You can actually like get outside and just go walk that way. Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah. Let's see. What else did we talk about yesterday that we haven't talked about yet?
We talked about Kroger for a really long time.
Yeah. That's probably not worth rehashing.
We talked about the internet melting.
We talked about James Bond a little bit.
We did. Ooh, that's tomorrow.
There's James Bond. Oh, is it tomorrow?
You can go watch the early viewing tomorrow. Do you want to go?
Maybe not on the first day.
Are you scared?
I'm still good to not be around a lot of people.
Oh.
And not even because I'm worried about getting sick, but just I've really enjoyed not being around.
You just don't like people.
I guess that's true. I guess I don't really enjoy being around a lot of people, but I've also just enjoyed being able to do things without being overcrowded. It's nice. The times that I have gone to the movies in the past, year or so, like I'll pick a Sunday afternoon or like some weird time, like a Tuesday night. There's nobody there. It's great. And just not because people are terrible, but it's just nice to have space and not have to worry about noise and stuff like that. So maybe not Thursday night opening night, but sometime this weekend. Maybe like a.
What's happening this weekend? What's happening? Oh, my in-laws are coming in town.
Oh, so you may want to get away.
When are they coming in? They're coming in tomorrow. I can't go tomorrow night.
Okay. Well, good. Because
I can't do it this weekend. Yeah, my in-laws.
Oh no! Well, okay. We'll find a time. Yeah. It's not going anywhere. I mean, the movie's only been like in the hopper for 2.5 years.
Yeah, really.
Some ridiculous thing. Could you imagine being an actor and working on something? I don't know if any of those people are particularly proud of their work in a James Bond movie, but could you imagine doing a job, getting paid for the job, and then being really excited about it and wanting to show people, and then it just sits somewhere, even longer than they normally sit, which, normally an actor will do their part.
Time
That's another year, 2 years. But then you got like COVID on top of that. I mean, he probably filmed his James Bond scenes, his final scenes, like 4 years ago.
He's probably 2 movies deep already.
That's crazy.
Knives Out 2 is probably, I don't know if it's done filming principal production, but yeah, he's probably moved on twice over.
But then he still has to do press on a thing that he did forever ago and act like he still cares about it.
So what's it like being James Bond now? What's going to happen now that you're not James Bond? He's got to answer that a million times.
You should just pre-record that stuff and hang on to it. In case he forgets, he can go back and, this is how I felt the week after I was done with that job.
So that raises a good point. So you are now committed to going to Maker Central. Mm-hmm. I don't know if people like ask you questions or do they just want to come up and like talk to you.
Kind of both.
In the James Bond, Daniel Craig-esque, like, is that your like media day? Like the equivalent of like a celebrity's media day?
I guess so, yeah.
Because you don't really have to like answer a whole lot of the same question because we're pretty open. Like we're talking right now about a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So
yeah, but people don't listen to this. I mean,
well, as the person who gets the emails, I can tell there is a group of just kind of pedestrian people who don't see or care about all the other stuff.
Right.
But I imagine people that come out to a thing to see you would have like a deeper level of commitment to caring.
Maybe, but maybe not. We think of all the stuff that we do and all the different media venues that we work in as being the collection of all the things that we do. But somebody from the outside looks at any content creator and they usually find them one place, and that's like their core, like way to get stuff about them. And so even if they're interested in everything, they probably miss a lot of ancillary things that a content creator does.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of things that people will still ask me in person or over email or Instagram or whatever about, like, when did you stop doing software development? And I'm like, whoa, that was like a lifetime ago to me now. But a lot of that has to do with when people come into
when they jump
awareness of something. So yeah, I guess in times like that and in events like that, people are still asking all sorts of questions that maybe seem historical to me. But
there's a not going to say hot button, but there's a contentious conversation right now about whether influencers are celebrities.
Shouldn't be, if they are.
It's more of like people being semantic about terms.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's one of those dumb things that, like, who cares?
Yeah, for real. Oh, did I do this wrong? I might have done this wrong. Dang it.
Oh, no. So you're still building R2-D2.
I am.
He looks a whole lot more like R2-D2 now than he did.
Yeah, on yesterday's Hidden show, I was able to move him quite a bit further along. You know what's actually funny? Yesterday we talked about the process, a little bit about the process of building an R2-D2 versus a real R2-D2. Mm-hmm. Did I say that wrong? A Lego R2-D2 versus a real R2-D2. And how there's a lot of these little things that are made out of Lego that are very familiar even before they're in place. Like, I can tell what things are. The thing that I just realized, right here, if anybody's watching, I'm building the dome. This is the R2-D2's dome, and it's out of Lego, which means you're building a dome out of square, angular thingies.
Yep.
Pieces. This is actually far more like the Minecraft R2-D2 that I made than the actual R2-D2.
Minecraft R2-D2.
In our Discord server, people have access to get on our Minecraft server. This is for the Maker Alliance. And so we have our own Minecraft server for I Like to Make Stuff, and I built a giant R2-D2. Like, I don't even know how tall it is. It's giant. You could put a house inside of it. But I had to build it out of blocks, Minecraft blocks. And so I realized as I got to the top of it that making a dome out of blocks is pretty difficult to get even all the way around, and stuff. And this is not in creative. This is in survival mode. So I couldn't just fly around and look at it from high and, check it. But it's funny that building this dome out of these Lego pieces gives me that same oh no, I got to make sure that it's beginning to look like a curve, even though I'm following instructions. But, it took me back to that. Anyway, yeah, I'm still working on R2-D2. You finished up the Infinity Gauntlet yesterday.
Yes. And it was along that conversation about how Lego does a fantastic job of trying to create compound organic shapes out of very angular blocks. And this Infinity Gauntlet is kind of a masterclass in that. It's fantastic. It's got tons of these really cool gold pieces. All the fingers are articulate and they have knuckle joints, and you can make very obscene gestures with them. It's pretty neat. So I finished it yesterday, but a while ago I got the Aftermarket Lighting Kit. So this is the second lighting kit that I've done. We did the one on the Land Rover. But this one, all the Infinity Stones will light up, and it'll cool. Project out light on the bottom, like ambient light with a remote. So I'm pretty stoked about this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's got a little light bar that goes on the bottom.
Those are some tiny LEDs.
Yeah, this whole thing, the connectors are super tiny. They gave me this really cool pair of tweezers, which the last time they did not do.
Huh.
Yeah, the LEDs, the control board, all the stuff is super, super tiny. And so it's kind of crazy. It has a USB-A connector for power, and then the actual connector to the board is rice, smaller than an oat.
Yeah.
Show the little camera.
Show the little camera. Anthony
it is very,
Let's
very
see if
tiny.
you can even find it. Boop, like that little thing.
Wonder what you call that connector.
I don't know.
Bigger connectors of that same form factor, but larger. They're JST, I think is.
I don't know.
But those are.
Half of the packaging is written in Chinese. But I don't know. It's cool, and it's not taking very long. I mean, it's not a very complicated, large model. It's not. It's. Let me see. Probably child's hand, maybe.
Yeah.
Or a teenager's actual hand, not a glove that would fit on that hand.
Right.
So a glove for a small child. It's about the scale that we're working here.
Now, you were talking yesterday about whether you thought it would be easier to build that in while you were actually building the Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would have been easier to do in progress, or is it after the fact easier?
They were all designed to go in after the fact, and so it hasn't been difficult. And I think it probably would have been 6 to 1, half dozen the other, because it's popping off the stones, and they're only held in with a single stud. It's not even a 2 to 2.
I see.
So if you're looking to add lights to any Lego set, it's pretty straightforward, and the instructions are pretty great. They're all online. So this is the second one that I've done, and I've been impressed with both of them. And it adds a really awesome feature to any regular Lego set.
Does it have a battery, or does it have to?
Yeah, it's got a battery pack.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, you have it comes with a USB, or it comes with a 3 AAA battery pack.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we have a new segment.
New segment time.
We have a new jingle for the new segment. So this was an idea that came from Wade Glass.
Thank you, Wade Glass.
On our Discord server. Wade is part of the Maker Alliance. Actually, Wade's been around our internet presence for a really long time. Mm-hmm. Wade's a good guy. He came up with an idea.
Met Wade?
I don't believe I've ever met Wade in real life.
Wade, get on it. What are you doing?
Maybe I have. I don't know. I'm kind of bad about that.
Do you know why I'm sitting here putting together the Infinity Gauntlet? Because I was in the whatever, before it was called the Maker Alliance. And you know what I did? I cyberstalked Bob, and then I hung out at his house.
No.
And now I'm here.
Don't say that, because that's going to give people the wrong idea.
Come on.
You were invited.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
After pleading and crying a little.
Look at how many pieces I have left over in the section that I didn't put on. There was no crying involved. Anyway, Wade came up with this idea. We've done pros and cons before in the past, where someone will say something and we say whether we're for or against it. Similarly to that, Wade's idea was best worst.
Yeah.
So a topic, and we say what we think is the best blank and the worst blank.
Yep.
So we asked today on the Discord server, and they gave us a flood.
A bunch. And I wrote them on paper. And then Anthony laughed at me because I wrote it on paper. But you know what?
So
I
that's
like
cool.
paper. But the first one that they put up as an example was Pixar movies. So I hope that while you're listening to this, you have your own best version or offering and the worst offering. Because we want this to be interactive and fun. We want you to feel like you're hanging out. Not in a third chair, because I believe that term is trademarked by some other podcast. But
Matt Whitman. Doesn't sound.
yeah.
Well, I mean, do we need to validate these things, or is this just like say whatever you want and people can deal with it? Like, do we need to explain our intention or our reasonings?
I think just like pros and cons, there's probably going to be a little bit of exposition on each one of these.
True.
Because I think the worst of something is probably going to be a hot take. Possibly. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see as it lies. So,
All right.
Pixar movies. We'll go with best, and then we can end with worst, and maybe that'll be the hot button.
Okay. Best. Ooh, man. Man. I might have to go. This is just off the top of my head, because even though we've known about this for a while, I have not thought really about it. I might have to go Toy Story 3.
Ooh.
And
That was deep.
because it really took me off guard. Like Toy
Yeah.
Story 2, I'm like, oh, cool, they made a sequel. That was fun.
They made new friends.
Yeah, and then like 20 years went by, and they were like, oh, let's do anher one. And then it
We're
just
going to make
wrecked
everybody
me.
think about death.
Yeah.
And accept the fragility of life and
man.
accept death.
It took me off guard.
Got a
watching it.
friend in me.
Yeah.
We're all going to die together.
So,
Ooh, that's a good one.
you know, most Pixar movies, probably 75% of them had made me cry in some way, even if it's just a little tear down, the Coco. Coco gets me too, man.
Coco's good.
Yeah, they're good at making me cry. Lots of things can make me cry. But I would have to say Toy Story 3 for best.
I think.
But it's close. There's a bunch right behind
Yeah.
it for number 2.
Yeah, it's a tight race.
Yeah.
The swing between best and worst is not that far. But for me, it's pronounced. My best, I think, is WALL-E.
Oh.
I absolutely love WALL-E.
Yeah.
I love that it's cute. I love that it tries to guilt trip me as a person to make the future better. All of the reasons. I like that there's a little bit of hope. I like that hope changes along the way. That you see that the earth is disgusting, but there's hope because everybody left the planet. Hooray! But then it got disgusting. And so then there's a little bit of hope to come back and make it better. I think that WALL-E has just like this undying little hope. I love movies that don't say words.
Yeah.
I am all about it. If you, Maker Alliance listener, or podcast listener, sorry, if you know of a movie, that like silent movies or just movies in general that just have somebody who just shuts up and you can just see it. I love that. What was I watching recently? There was something I was watching recently where someone just shut up and I could see all of it on their face. And it made me connect to it because then you can project your feelings onto that. And WALL-E was great. Like the words that he said were just little digital articulation where he didn't even know how to speak.
Yeah.
And even that was cute. He reminded me of my dog at the time, who was a boxer, and his face kind of looked kind of similar to WALL-E's and those droopy kind of. And yeah, WALL-E.
Also a good one.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing to say best of because there's,
Oh yeah.
I mean, gosh.
You could break it down even more, like best 10 minutes of a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Like goes to Up, or like best character development, or best all kinds of stuff. Like
Yeah.
But if I had to give the Oscar goes to, it'd be WALL-E.
WALL-E. Okay. Worst.
The Cars movies. Specifically, I would say Cars 2. Yeah, I'll say if I had to pick one to leave the island, it'd be Cars 2.
To leave the island. You know, I would probably say Cars 2, but I've never seen Cars 2.
I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, the fact that I wasn't interested enough to watch it kind of says a lot about it. A lot of people say The Good Dinosaur was their.
I kind of liked The Good Dinosaur.
I kind of did too. We saw it last year for the first time. I never watched it when it came out because it was like, well, that looks like one of those kind of B grade, they took their second tier team to make that
Straight
one or something.
Straight to VHS.
But it was actually pretty good.
I liked it.
I don't think it had the heart of the other ones. It didn't get, it didn't make me cry. It didn't get to me like the way that Toy Story and Luca and those other ones do. But, I didn't.
Had low-key drug use in it. Unlike any other Pixar movie.
I forgot about that. That's true. But I don't know. As far as if I had to pick a worst for one that I've actually seen. Wait. There was one that was not good. What came out in like the pre-Inside Out? What was in that right before that?
I love Inside Out.
I've never seen it all.
Man, Inside Out's going. Oh man, you talk about crying.
I know that's why I've never seen
Inside
it.
Out's gonna make you cry, big time. I would out of watchability, Inside Out all day. Such a good movie.
So that's why I didn't finish that one. Because my kids were very young, and I started watching it while they were watching it for the first time, and I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be good. I'm
get
out.
wrecked.
I'm going to go find something else to do." Yeah.
So good. But what was around that time? I don't remember.
Do you have a list pulled up? Let's see.
Brave, Monsters University.
Monsters University was also one of those could have been straight to VHS releases, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible.
Oh man, see, there's so many. Looking at the list, I mean, The Incredibles. Man. It didn't get the heartstrings like Toy Story would, but it is absolutely one of the best animated movies of all time. Bug's Life. Forgot about that one. That was number 2. That was way back there. And it wasn't bad.
No.
But it doesn't stick out.
No.
All right, so just looking at this list, going through here, we got Cars 2 is probably up there as the stinker.
Yep.
Monsters University. Probably up there. Finding Dory, didn't see it.
Finding Dory wasn't bad.
Toy Story 4. Forgot about Toy Story 4.
That was a good one, too. Scares the crap out of my kids, though. The marionettes are perfectly done. That digitally animated movie clones actual lenses of cameras. It does such a good job. Different characters have different lenses assigned to them so that the whole shot looks different.
Wow.
It's like movie making. Boom, Toy Story 4.
Well, looking at this list here, I think I would have to go with... Wait, Cars 3. What was that?
Cars 3.
I mean...
It was dumb. It wasn't as stupid as Cars 2. But anything that has to glorify Mater, that character, is ridiculous.
Huh.
It was like, you're washed up, Lightning McQueen.
Now, see, I did enjoy the first Cars. It was, for what it was fine. But I'm going to have to just say Cars 2 and 3 as the worst because I never watched either one of them, and that says that I wasn't into it.
Planes was a Pixar property too, right?
I think that might have been a direct-to-video kind of thing.
I remember seeing it. It wasn't terrible.
Or maybe that was just a Disney offshoot.
Pretty sure it was Pixar too.
No.
Or maybe it was just Disney. Oh, Disney just ripped it off. Okay.
Well,
never mind.
they were
They're not in
working
the running
with them.
because
So,
it was not great. And I like planes. And I like cartoons.
There you go. All right, what do we have? What's next? Best worst, part 2.
Pop-Tart flavor.
Ooh, best. You're going to disagree? Everybody's going to disagree? It's fine. Raspberry.
I have never had a raspberry
Ooh,
Pop-Tart.
they're good. They're good.
That seems real bougie.
Close second. You can
Does it
only
have,
find them in
like-
some places.
Does it have frosting?
Yeah. Close second is cherry for me. Oh, man, I don't know. Wildberry? Wildberry's pretty good, too. We've started
They
getting...
have a raspberry and a wildberry?
Yeah, they're different. Because the wildberry's like blueberry, blackberry-ish mixture.
So I let go of Pop-Tarts as a thing in my life when they started doing like s'mores and cookies and cream and stuff. I don't know if I'm a Pop-Tart purist, which is not a thing, but it just seemed to like, that's a little too much.
My kids love the s'more one. I
have no way to offer an opinion on a s'more. But I mean, for best, as a Pop-Tart purist, I would say does strawberry with frosting or the brown sugar and cinnamon? Is that what it is?
Oddly enough, I know a weird fact about. Well, I know half of a weird fact.
That's enough. That's enough to catch my interest.
So I listened to another podcast about Star Wars called The Resistance Broadcast, which I'm sure none of those guys are listening. But if they are, hey, guys, I listened to your podcast and I like it. It's all about Star Wars. 3 people, and they talk about that. But there was a couple episodes in a row where they started talking about food at the very beginning, about somebody was eating a snack or something, and they ended up talking about Pop-Tarts for several minutes. And there were 4 original flavors of Pop-Tarts that came out. And they are probably not what you would think. What do you think the original batch of flavors would have been?
For a Pop-Tart, because a Pop-Tart is like fake strudel, so I would imagine strawberry. Some type of apple.
Can you look it up?
Like a chocolate. Maybe a raspberry.
I'm pretty sure it was... well, now I'm going to look like an idiot because I don't know.
Like
there was an apple, and I think the apple was the thing that didn't make any sense to me. And I hadn't thought about it being a strudel thing. Blueberry, brown sugar, strawberry, and apple currant. That's interesting. I wouldn't have put that together because I was really confused as to why apple currant was one of the options. But, yeah, I guess I wasn't...
Did you ever get the... No, those are the toaster pastries. You had a little
toaster strudels?
Oh, man, packet of frosting on it?
Yep.
We were too poor for that.
I got those in college. That was my, I'm on my own now, and I'm going to spend my last dollars anywhere I can.
I'm going to have sugar breakfast.
That's right. It's funny, because, growing up, we've talked about sugar cereals. People have made fun of me online about sugar cereals. I got it, sure. But we didn't have a lot of sugar cereals growing up, and that was one of the things in college. I was like, I can buy my own cereal now, and I'm going to buy sugar cereals. Anyway, where were you trying to...
So to wrap in a pro and con, do you put Pop-Tarts in the toaster?
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
Because it's like lava in your mouth.
You let them cool. No, here's the thing what you do. Okay, you put them in there, you toast them, and when you get them out, you immediately break them in half. And you lay them there so that they can cool, and they vent out the broken toaster hole. I don't know what you call it. They vent and they cool off from the inside out, and then it's evenly inside out. See how I took that back to Pixar?
You did. You did good.
That's how you do it. Okay. I cannot imagine eating a Pop-Tart that's not toasted. That's disgusting.
If we had a crowd full of people and we were to do a show of hands, I think you would be surprised.
Oh, no, I understand that people eat it, but they're disgusting. So
no way.
Yeah, they are.
My wife used to live off Pop-Tarts. And I say the strawberry with the frosting edges out over the brown sugar and cinnamon because the brown sugar and cinnamon, although it was yummy, used to give me heartburn. But I would know it, and I would just accept it. Okay, worst Pop-Tart.
Worst Pop-Tart.
There is one. Penultimate.
Anything without frosting on it.
It's the strawberry without frosting. I don't know why they continue to sell it.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's cardboard.
But people buy it.
I imagine that people buy that as like an ingredient for some unhealthy American thing.
Do you think they think that's healthier? They're like, oh, this one doesn't have sugar on top of it.
I don't know. I would like to get a nutritionalist. They're like, it's okay. No. I don't have the frosting on my Pop-Tarts, so it's good. I don't need that cholesterol medicine. Put it away.
I just can't imagine why you would...
I switched to Diet Coke and frostingless Pop-Tarts. What?
Yeah.
Some weird flavors.
Okay.
Oh, my kids have had the pretzel one.
Salted caramel pretzel Pop-Tart.
Sounds gross to me, but they liked it.
You. I imagine there's a churro.
Is that lemon? Lemon cream pie?
It's filled with a thin lemon curd.
Oh, there's another weird one. Hold on.
I could see that.
Okay, so this is one of those things that Anthony and I were talking earlier about
Tropical
TV
mango.
shows.
We have the mango ones at our house right now.
I would have never thought about that. So we were talking about the British Bake Off. Great British Baking Show, whatever just came back. And I was like, Tavin Dillard, our buddy from Sweet Tea Films, Tavin Dillard needs to be on the British Bake Off because it would be fantastic. You would just mix up all of the words that don't make any sense, biscuits and pie or whatever. And I imagine that he would just like present them with a Pop-Tart and trying to see Paul Hollywood's reaction to a Pop-Tart because it's snappy like a biscuit. I don't know. I'd like to.
It just seems like no matter what they told him to make, it would always end up as mashed potatoes.
He would make like the best cookie, and they're like, it doesn't snap. And he was like, yeah, why's your cookie snap? Your cookie shouldn't snap. Dummies.
That would be good.
They're putting beef in their pies. Ugh.
Speaking of, Joel, who
I like
does,
that we got through one of these.
yeah, Joel has been on the show before. Our buddy Joel Barry, who does that character. There's a new podcast that he does, Tavin Dillard podcast. He does it all as the character of Tavin, and it's hilarious. Have you listened to it yet?
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good. It's just fun to listen to him be silly. So go check that one out. Oh, also
awesome.
we're doing a little trade-off thing with another podcast, some guys we know, called We Built a Thing. And they are also a podcast of makers who are also dads, who also have interests of their own. And
They better not like Star Wars.
I don't know.
We're going to fight.
So if you like, how we banter and talk about things that we're interested in family and stuff, go check out We Built a Thing. It's Drew Fisher, Bruce Ulrich? I never know how to say Bruce's name. I just call him Ulrich. It is Ulrich.
It should be Ulrich.
And Mark. Yeah.
I don't know Mark's last name.
Yeah. But anyway, go check them out. We're kind of trading some call-outs to each other, because I think there's a lot of crossover in the people that listen to our shows. All right, we got another one. How long have we been going here?
I don't know, like 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
I have no sense of time.
36. We got.
We have a long list.
Cool.
I'm going to skip all the Star Wars ones because I think that we've been through that quite a bit.
What? Give me one.
We'll do that one at the end,
Okay.
so we can talk for another hour. Starburst flavor. This will be hopefully a short one. Best and worst Starburst flavor.
I'm going to say best for me is cherry.
We are two totally different people. I love this. Okay.
What's yours? Yours is the pink one, right?
Ooh. I like the orange.
Yeah.
I'm all about like citrus candy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I like the orange ones too.
But they make like a pinks only, so there must be a huge, overwhelming, like fan, like urged demand for pink Starburst.
I guess.
What's the worst?
Well, orange is your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. Lemon.
I don't like the cherry ones.
Really?
Yeah. Most red candies. Maybe it was because like every medicine I had as a kid was like cherry.
Oh.
And so that flavor does
Yeah.
not have any positive connotation. It doesn't taste like cherry.
Yeah.
It's just that red cough syrup taste.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so Robitussin has ruined me for everything else. Sorry, Starburst. And my wife really likes them, so we're a good partnership when we have some Starburst to munch on.
Split a bag. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
What's the worst? You said lemon?
Yeah. Yeah, I think lemon.
It's got, citrus is already covered. You probably could have went with something else.
Yeah, that's true. I assume they probably have like seasonal flavors or special edition.
They have
something.
like the tropical whatevers, and which I have a theory that when Halloween time comes, that they just throw out the goofy flavors just around Halloween, because I don't think people really care about what they're giving away to little kids.
They're not choosing what they want to eat. They're just buying the cheapest candy bag they can find. Yeah. Well, that's why there's mounds in those big multi-packs of candy. Nobody buys mounds on purpose.
Yeah, Almond Joys are far superior to Mounds.
Both gross. Fruit punch?
Oh, those are super good.
Fruit Punch Starburst.
Yeah, those are awesome.
I would try that.
Interesting. What is the blue and yellow? Blue raspberry lemonade. Wow, there's like a whole thing I didn't know about Starburst. I thought there were like 4 flavors.
Oh, that's 2 colors in one Starburst. That's crazy. Okay.
Grape slushy Starburst? I'll take a bag, please.
That's Bob right there.
I love grape slushy.
We could do slushy flavors.
grape.
What's the worst? Mine's like
Everything other than grape?
Anything that's coconutty. I really like coconut.
See, I really dislike coconut flavored things.
My sister doesn't like coconut because she says it looks like toenails. It's not a taste thing.
She's not
It's
wrong.
Pure association with something else. It's not even like a Robitussin, like, ew, this flavor reminds me of blank. She looks at it and says that looks like toenails.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Tiff looks at alfalfa sprouts or bean sprouts when you're eating Asian food. She goes, those look like heartworms. I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. Association with something gross
Yeah.
is a strong factor.
Nasty.
We got deli sandwich.
Like a whole sandwich?
Yeah, if you're going to go to a deli,
Oh, man.
R.I.P. deli here in town. But if
Yeah.
you're going to go to the deli, what you going to get?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. That's tough because I don't have the world experience with delis that a lot of people have. A lot of people have lived in places where like a deli is a big part of where you would eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, so you feel like your answer is lazy?
well, I think I just haven't been exposed to enough different types of proper deli sandwiches. If you go to a New York deli, there's a specific set of sandwiches that are there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and people find something they really like and they always go back to it or whatever. But I mean, I don't know, the delis in Savannah and in Kentucky are not exactly like screaming.
Yeah, you're not going to get like the
Unique.
pastrami from
Right.
Cats.
Yeah. So I don't even
All right, if
know.
you were going to go to Jimmy John's, that's the closest that we can think of a deli. It's a sandwich. It's on a hoagie roll.
I mean, I've been to Jimmy John's one time and I had like a turkey and ham sandwich. I don't know. I don't even know what they have.
They have, think of all of the
So
meats
when I
that
think
you
of,
would get.
I'll just think of all sandwich shops in general.
Sure.
So this is probably the wrong answer for deli enthusiasts, but I would say probably a steak and cheese.
Okay.
With extra mushrooms, no onions. That's probably like my favorite overall sandwich. Maybe.
Nice.
I don't know. What about you?
I like turkey and roast beef. To flavor together.
Have you ever been to a Jersey Mike's?
We just got one in town.
We did.
I remember there was one in my hometown, and I remember being underwhelmed.
So there was one in Savannah I used to go to on a regular basis, and they had a chicken Philly, and you could get a chicken buffalo Philly. So it was it was chopped up chicken with buffalo sauce, and then all of the mushrooms and cheese and green peppers and stuff if you wanted. And it was a really, really good sandwich. And we have one in town now, so I need to get over there and try that out again.
So having now eaten many, many, many lunches with you, that's a thing. Like if I were to go to a place and I know that there's a whatever buffalo, I'm like, Bob wants that.
Yeah.
If it's on pizza, if it's on a sandwich,
Yeah.
I don't know about dip, but
I like. Actually, Publix has a really good buffalo chicken dip. And it's like mushed chicken in a bowl. It's actually pretty disgusting when you think about it. But
all right, what about worst sandwich?
Anything with rye bread. I hate rye bread.
I don't like rye bread, and I don't like any of the individual components in a Reuben sandwich. But when you put them all together, it kind of works.
Yeah, I'm with you on
strange.
that. Yeah, I think if I ever get a Reuben, I get it without rye. Just because, I like the rest of it, but rye bread just, I don't know. Doesn't work.
I mean, I know this is contrary to what I just said about a Reuben, but I don't like hot sandwiches. I'm not a fan of hot sandwiches. We go to Firehouse because, sandwiches are decent at Firehouse. But the hot sandwich that you would get quickly, like a meatball at Subway or something at Firehouse, I know that there's like a Penn Station or a whatever that serves like hot sandwich. It seems like a sandwich that got left under like a truck driver's butt. Like he was eating food out of the bag and then it's like it rolled under between like the armrest and the thigh and just got stuck there.
Do you think that's because you've had those not fresh? And the bread has had time to like get mushy?
Maybe.
Because
the hot sandwiches, it tastes like just like sweaty kind of. I like sandwiches because they seem, this is all ridiculous, they seem like lighter food. Like a salad. Like I don't want a hot salad the same way I don't want a hot sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
It seems refreshing in a way. So I don't like really heavy and like big and like, oh, the stuff is falling out sandwiches. I just don't like a hot sandwich.
And that's the thing I've learned about eating meals with you is that you don't like hot sandwiches. Like
But I can go to Firehouse and then they look at me like I'm an idiot because I want the smallest one they have because it's a decent sized lunch sandwich and I want it cold. They're like, oh, the bread cold? I'm like, I want everything cold. They're like you don't want it toasted? I'm like, I don't understand how I can say this any more simple than I am. Like, and I get my food way faster than everybody else because they don't have to put in near as much work. Yeah, I just want to. There's something about it doesn't seem too heavy and wet.
I don't like any sandwich that has like mushy bread, but I also think that depends on which place you go. One thing I like about Firehouse is that they toast the bread while they're like stacking the meat, and however they heat the meat, they do it separately from the bread.
Yeah.
And then when you get it, if you eat it right away, it hasn't like
Saturated.
mushified the bread. So
Did you go to Quiznos?
yeah, we did for a while.
I liked Quiznos because they had soup, but then I realized like that soup is terrible for you. But so the sandwich dunked in soup is different. Man, I'm just realizing this.
Like a French dip.
If I'm gonna have soup and there's a sandwich next to it, it needs to have the same temperature, like a grilled cheese.
Oh,
So like
yeah,
those
right.
two things are together. They are one unit rather than a sandwich. But if you're gonna serve sandwich with a soup, sure, it could be
Well,
hot.
okay, well, grilled cheese is interesting then. Do you like grilled cheese sandwiches?
I love grilled cheese sandwiches.
That's a hot sandwich. Or do
Yeah,
you
but
like
I don't
them-
want to
do you
have a
like
grilled
them
cheese
cool
sandwich
up?
by itself.
Oh, okay.
I want a grilled cheese sandwich as a medium to deliver soup to my mouth.
Right, yeah. Because a lot of times when Jenny's making sandwiches for the family, she makes mine a melt. And so it's like she'll just take whatever she's made for everybody else and then just stick mine in the toaster oven thing, and it just melts the cheese, toasts the bread all at the same time. And then when she takes it out, she'll put mayonnaise and stuff on it.
I can hear people go, mayonnaise on a hot sandwich. Ugh.
Yeah, but the mayonnaise isn't hot. That's the thing. That's why you put it on after it's been. But whatever. Cool. Well, there. Now we go.
To eat your own.
That's right.
Ha ha ha. See, that was
Yeah.
to eat it. That's good. Okay. We're just going down the line with food.
Yeah.
Chips.
Ooh.
Best and worst chips.
You go first this time.
I have newly discovered all dressed chips from Canada.
All dressed chips.
Oh man, you haven't had all dressed chips?
Does it just mean like it has every
it's like
seasoning on it?
barbecue and salt and vinegar, which I'm not normally a fan of, with some MSG in there. All dressed chips.
Barbecue
Are
and salt.
pretty delicious. Having traveled around for a while, they have different chips in different places.
Yeah.
Like when we went to St. Thomas, they had sour cream and onion Doritos, which wasn't as pronounced as you'd hope. Like I've had all kind of weird chip flavors. Europe does a bunch of stuff. They have, which are now coming over to the States. So all like the weird, wacky flavors that are different in the United States grocery stores
Yeah.
are probably flavors that have already existed elsewhere. And that is the case with all dressed chips. They're pretty great.
Sodas are like that too.
Yeah.
All the weird sodas we get have been around everywhere else for a really long time. Let's see. I would say probably the cheddar and sour cream baked Lay's.
Oh, yeah. Before all dressed
baked.
chips, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The baked ones
Yep.
especially. All right, worst chip.
Don't like Funyuns.
Yeah, that's true.
My family loves Funyuns. And if I had one, I would go, this is not worth the after effects of Funyuns.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know.
No, thank you.
Gosh. Doritos? Like regular old. I like Cool Ranch Doritos. But the regular old orange red bag.
Nacho cheese. Doritos.
Yeah. I can't even remember the last time I had one of those things because they're just. Blech.
Interesting.
Yeah, not into that. Cool Ranch all day.
I would choose a Cool Ranch Dorito over a nacho cheese Dorito.
Yeah. That should be the de facto Dorito now. They should just get rid of the other one. It can be a seasonal one. Excuse me. All right, we got any more?
Concert you've attended.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I'm not crediting the people who gave these because I looked down the list really quick. I apologize.
Best concert. It would have to be one of the Mute Math concerts. But I've seen them like 9 or 10 times. And the shows mostly blur together in my mind as just kind of outrageous and really, really good. So, one of those is my best.
Best, I would say Rob Zombie.
Really?
Yeah, because it was a spectacle. It was awesome. They had like 20-foot tall monsters, animatronic monsters and stuff dancing all around. Like, I wouldn't even go so far as to be a Rob Zombie fan. Like, there's a couple songs I thought were pretty good. Even when he was in White Zombie, he played some of that stuff. So it was pretty nice. But just like the spectacle of the show, it was fantastic. I thought it was super cool. Worst.
Worst. It would have to be, the actual worst would have to be somewhere in one of the many Christian rock and roll concerts I saw as a teenager that I don't really remember who they were or whatever. Like we would go to these festivals to see a band, and then we'd have to see a bunch of other bands. They're just like terrible. So it'd have to be one of those. But as far as like specific concerts that I can remember, oddly enough, I think one of their worst ones was Foo Fighters. I've seen Foo Fighters twice. And the first time it was great. And the second time, like, they played great, but it was about 15 or 20 minutes into it. I was like, okay, we can wrap this up. Like, it's, Dave Grohl, you're really full of yourself, and I can see it. And he would like play something and then just like stand there and just like soak up the crowd and then just keep standing and keep standing. I'm like, dude, come on.
Do something different.
And it was after they had this other band open for them that I had never heard of or I didn't know. I don't even remember who it was now. And it was some, they were a popular punk band 30 years ago, and now they're all in their late 40s and still rocking out. And good for them. I didn't know the band, so I didn't have an attachment to them. And I was just like, ooh, guys, come on. Like, I got it. You got like hot rod haircuts and cool. I was just ready to get through it to get to Foo Fighters. And by the time we got to the Foo Fighters, then Dave Grohl was just doing his like, he'd strum a note and then just like stand there and soak it up forever. And then they played for like an hour and a half solid, which is really impressive.
Yeah.
But by the end of that and that attitude toward the crowd, I was just so ready to go. It was tough. But at the same time, they do play a really good show. So
Mine was the Chili Peppers at a Foo Fighters concert.
Oh.
Foo Fighters part of the show, I thought it was fantastic. The Chili Peppers, Red Hot Chili Peppers. They phoned it in, and you could tell. And even Flea, like the most high energy musician that I could think of, just like stood there and just like did the same like back and forth. There was a cartoon when Beavis and Butthead Do America came out, where I think it was Love Roller Coaster, where they were cartoons and they just like had them doing the same motions over and over again. I remember thinking this is exactly like that and really boring.
Oh, wow.
And Anthony Kiedis, which is like old looking and sounding. I'm like, yeah.
he was like, to me, Anthony Kiedis is like somebody rewound Iggy Pop about 20 years.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I have never, ever, and I know people love Chili Peppers, and that's awesome. Go for it. I have never, ever liked a Chili Peppers song. I understand that they're very talented. Like, I technically get it, but the music doesn't match, the quality of the music doesn't match the quality of the vocals, and that's always really bugged me. It was like they needed a singer,
Yeah.
and they was like, hey, ask your buddy, Kiedis if he wants to come be in the band, and then they
I
couldn't
can
get
sing
rid
a
of him.
song because I'm singing a song now. And it's
Yeah.
like this because I'm singing a song.
Yeah, it's because like I listened to a reggae song one time, and I'm gonna try to take that and make that my thing, but I don't really know how to do it, and it just, I don't know.
It doesn't work.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on.
You didn't put the batteries in?
No, I think I have to control it with a controller.
Ooh. I didn't realize it had a remote control.
It
That's even
did.
weirder. Yeah, so I would imagine that if I had seen Chili Peppers, that would probably be in my worst.
I didn't boo, but I was looking all around. Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
it was happening while I was in the room.
I have seen some really good shows, though. I saw Weezer one time. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, I would love to see Weezer. That sounds like fun.
And it was like later on. It wasn't. I had a chance to see them on the Blue tour, the original one, when I was in high school, and I didn't go for some reason. And it was in Louisville. It was like 30 minutes away, and I didn't go, even though I knew who they were, but I wasn't like a big fan yet or anything. And then later on, just totally regretted missing that because that's when they were small.
Yeah.
I mean, relatively, unknown, and I mean they were known, but not like they were later on. And so it would have been a smaller venue, stuff like that. I did see Smashing Pumpkins when I was in high school on Siamese Dream on that tour.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. That was, at that point in my life, that was like nothing I had ever been a part of because it was just crazy. The entire floor of Rupp Arena, which is the big basketball stadium in Louisville, Not Rupp Arena. What's the one? That's the one in Lexington.
Yum Center's in Louisville.
No,
KFC
it was
Yum
before
Center?
that. It was the I don't know, whatever the big Cardinal Stadium was in Louisville at the time. It was the entire floor was the pit. And I remember being like a 16, 17-year-old kid. Josh just left.
Bye.
Anyway, I remember being, old enough to drive myself to the concert and be really nervous about the fact that I'm driving my parents' car to Louisville to a concert by myself.
Where there's rock and roll music being played.
Well, no, it's just like, it was like a first kind of outing on my own. And I got there in this big sea of people. And in one of the songs, somebody just picked me up. And I got past a significant distance above the crowd and groped excessively all the way up. And I just remember getting put down after this trip and just being like, whoa, I got to get out of here. Like, I need to get to the side of the room and listen to the music. It was a lot of fun. It was really crazy. But then, like, that night, or I guess it would have been the next night, they had a news story on Channel 11 News about the concert. And so there was this shot from the middle back down toward the stage. And I saw myself get lifted up. And I'm like, oh, cool, the Pumpkins. That's where. Hey, wait a second, that's me. Like, right there, I saw me get lifted up in this one little shot. It's pretty cool. That was a great concert. I saw Radiohead one time. And this was in Rainbows, I think. And we were so far back that it was basically just like listening to the album with a really tiny TV in the distance. That's what it felt like, which was a bummer. Oh, look at that. It's glowing. Wow.
The Infinity Gauntlet. She glows.
That's cool. The glow out at the bottom, I think, is the best part. That's awesome.
And you can change it.
Ooh,
You can change the color at the bottom glow.
neat.
Neato.
like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And now I need my batteries back for my keys. Infinity Gauntlet. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more, and we'll do a Star Wars one. There's 2 Star Wars ones. You want number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2 is best and worst Star Wars supporting character.
Supporting character.
And I think we have to define supporting character is outside of the people who have been in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh. Okay. So.
Vader went in the Millennium Falcon one time?
Yeah, but he's not a supporting character.
Right.
That's tough. Okay, so best supporting character of any Star Wars movie.
We broke him, ladies and gentlemen. This was
That's
it.
tough. There's so many to choose from. Yoda?
Yoda's not supporting. I mean, this is hard because you've got 9 movies, 10, 12 movies.
Yeah.
So many cartoons. Like, who counts as supporting?
Yeah, I mean, you could say. Yeah, I don't think the Falcon thing works.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay, we'll just say, like, not top tier, main known. Oh, that's still really hard. Okay, without spending more time on it, just Cobb Vanth. I think the dude that played Cobb Vanth in Mandalorian, the guy that had Boba Fett's armor,
Oh.
he was excellent. Timothy Oliphant, that guy.
Mr. Oliphant? Yeah.
I thought he was great. He was a good addition to the westernness of that movie, which I think is why I think he has other acting credits within that kind of western realm. I don't really know a lot about him, but given more time, I would probably think of somebody different. But that's the first one.
I was going to say
really good.
Quill from from Mandalorian.
Yeah, for sure.
I've spoken. I like that.
Yep.
Dude's out there by himself, knows why he's there, can fix all the stuff. To the point. Don't argue with me. Just do what I say. I hope to be that guy one day. It's going to be great. Okay, worst Star Wars supporting character.
I mean, isn't Jar Jar just the obvious to answer
A lot
to
of
that?
people will hardcore disagree with this. if they are, I think, below a certain age threshold.
Right.
So if you are one of those people, cover your ears, but it's definitely Jar Jar. Like,
okay, well,
hands down.
Let's take that, because I think that's a known for, people of a certain age. So let's take that off the table.
Yep.
Outside of Jar Jar. You can almost do this per movie, honestly, because it's...
Okay, well, if we have a little bit of time left, let's do it per movie.
Oh, wow. So we have another hour and a half?
Sure. It's our show. We can do what we want.
Okay. How about we'll do this. You pick a movie, and I'll pick the character. Then I pick a movie, and you pick the character. We'll go like that.
Done.
Okay?
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Worst supporting character is... was harder than I thought it would be.
What's the guy's name?
The main bad guy.
Yeah, the main bad guy. That's the answer.
Ben Mendelsohn,
Yes.
whatever his character's name is.
Do I get to be in charge of the spaceship, Lord Vader?
He was too snivelly
Yeah.
for me.
I thought that was not cast well.
Krennic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Concur.
New Hope.
Worst? We're doing worst characters? Worst character in New Hope. Ooh. Oh, boy.
This is going to stick with you for the rest of your life, no matter what you say. Be
There's
careful.
not a lot of supporting characters in New Hope.
Sure there are. Just that one stormtrooper and that
Who
other guy.
bonked his head?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Uncle Ben. Not Uncle Ben. What's the guy? Aunt Beru.
Uncle Owen?
Uncle Owen. Not Uncle Ben. That's a racist rice company. Uncle Owen.
Uncle Owen. Really?
Yeah. Let the boy fly, Uncle Owen. You know what happens when you do that? When you quash people's dreams? You get lit on fire by the Empire.
You get
I think
burned.
you met your just end.
Huh. Okay.
Uncle Owen. He got what was coming to him.
That would be a bigger conversation. I would disagree with you on that one, but sure. All right, give me one.
The Infinity Gauntlet has a party mode. Revenge of the Sith.
Oh man. Anakin's not a supporting character. Is he?
No.
Supporting character. Does Padme count as a supporting character?
If that's your answer, I'll allow it because that was mine.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman's awesome.
Not in those movies.
She's terrible in those movies. The movies are terrible. It's kind of not fair to the people in the movies, but
She's dying. Why? Because she's given up the will to live. That's not a medical diagnosis, robot. You have all of the knowledge of all the combined universes for every species of creature. That's not listed in there, I tell you that.
so maybe it's that robot. Maybe he's the worst supporting
Lazy,
actor.
stupid robot.
Anyway, all right. Well, we'll save some for next time.
Yep.
Thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to give us some more of those, or some pros and cons, or some whatever feedbacks you want to give us, or if you just want to hang out with us, join the Maker Alliance, because that's where a lot of the stuff comes from, and we get to hang out on Discord. We do a monthly hangout on Google. It's not Google, but we do a video hangout where we actually get to check out projects and literally hang out.
Yep.
We do that once a month, which is really cool. So if you want to join up on the Maker Alliance, there's a bunch of things we never mentioned. You get discounts on plans. You get to see videos early.
So for the Maker Alliance and all the things, I will say what I have given them this week.
Okay. Go for
So I just sent out the discount code, the monthly discount code for any piece of merchandise on the website. Whenever we have our Black Friday sale, the Maker Alliance gets a discount on the Fusion course. So if you're interested in doing that, alarm's going off.
Sorry.
I sent them the video early. There is the Tinkerer levels and above get the plans for the video that's coming out on Thursday. They get a set of those for free. They get the Discord access, which I had just signed up for the Secret Santa. That's one thing I want to talk about. Are you signed up for a Secret Santa?
I have not.
The Maker Alliance, members of the Maker Alliance have established their own Secret Santa. So you got to sign up by the 15th. So if you want to do it, you should do it because it was pretty good. We have our own Minecraft server, which you're like, oh, Minecraft is for little kids. I thought that same thing, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So they get a lot of stuff. Oh, and more lanyards. There's like a backstage pass laminate. Speaking of concerts, we give out to certain levels. We ran out of them, and 4B just ordered some more. So like we have a bunch of stuff besides the hangout. And in that hangout, we know those people's names.
Yeah.
So if you reach out to us on social media, you're like, oh, I made a thing. Or it's cool. That's nice. But it's like a single serving friend on a plane. Like it's a nice little interaction, but I don't remember those people. People in the Maker Alliance, we engage with them. We hang out with them. We talk to them. If I have questions, I'm going to go there. If they have questions, they know exactly where to come to us. So if any of that stuff sounds interesting to you, it is a good thing. And if I was not sitting in this chair, I would be a part of it because it has value.
Yeah, I think it has value not just because it's attached to us, but because it's attached to itself. Like the people of the Maker Alliance are awesome. The community is the thing there. So if you want to join, if you want to check it out, to go to iliketomakestuff.com/join. Where can people find you, Josh?
At Josh_make_stuff. Mostly on Instagram, some on Twitter. I'm a voyeur on Twitter. I see what's going on in the world and not contribute much.
I just see you liking things on Twitter more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have much to... I feel like Twitter is this vault of gotcha moments, so I don't want to add to this vault of, like, if I have an opinion on a thing, I feel like people are going to go to Twitter to try to, like, oh, yeah, back in 2014, you said, when someone said this. And so I just, yeah. I just want to see what's going on in the world.
Yeah. Cool. You can find all of us at I Like to Make Stuff on all the different network thingies. What is this part? There's like interior parts in his dome.
Where the lightsaber shoots at.
Maybe.
Oh, and if you're watching the video and you're curious about what's happening to this space that we are currently in, I encourage you, if you're listening, to go see the video to see what's happening. And then in a few weeks, you will all get to see what's happening.
The Maker Alliance
we'll get to see earlier. Good job.
They already know what's happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.